Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Abdullah Sheikh Mohammed. I am lecturer of clinics and Dean of Studies at Sheikh Technical Veterinary School. My article is a preliminary study on Trypanosoma evansii vectors in Somaliland. I would like to introduce with the study area, where, as you see, here we are at the Horn of Africa. This is Somalia. We are here at Sheikh District, Sahel region of Somaliland. When I see in my presentation, if you hear Somali ecosystem, I mean Somali, the northern, the northeastern Kenya, where Somalis live, the Zone 5 of Ethiopia, where Somalis live, Djibouti, where Somalis live, Somaliland, Puntland, and central and southern Somalia. With this we call Somali ecosystem. As we know, camels are very important animal species in the tradition, culture, and socio-economic makeup of Somali's pastoral communities. Camels are rare for their meat and milk, but a peculiar characteristic of Somali livestock production system is that it is also trade-oriented. In fact, camels are either transported by foot or by trekking, and on tracks by tracking. While in their traveling, animals or camels may meet accidents in the road. Sometimes camels may be on track for several hours, 5-6 hours, then rested, then again loaded until they go to their destination port, which usually nowadays are Berbera and Bosaso ports. And this is their destination. Now these camels are in waiting list for shipment after the small ruminants. However, camels are challenged by many factors. Camel production system in Somali ecosystem is challenged by many factors: recurrent droughts, mismanagement, and diseases. We focus here on diseases. Among the diseases, trypanosoma or trypanosomosis is the most important disease that affects camel production system in Somali ecosystem. The disease is enzootic in the area. According to the pastoralists, the disease has a seasonal pattern, which means in rainy season the disease has frequently observed and acute form, while in the dry season the disease become less frequent and less severe, or become mild or chronic. Nomadists or pastoralists, they know the disease manifestation or the clinical signs of this disease. But the most important sign for pastoralists is the sudden drop of milk production, because their livelihoods depend mostly on the milk production of their herds. Other signs include lacrimation, pale mucosa representing as anemia, emaciation, and abdominal ventral edema. Behind a complaint from the communities, we undertook this research to look the types, which are the types of biting flies disturbing the animals, their abundance, their distribution, and their behavior in the area. We use it as materials and methods to collect biconical trap, cow urine and acetone as attractants attracting the biting flies. The biconical fly trap has two colors, blue and black, which also is a physical attractant for the biting flies. We choose it for villages of Shep district with a weekly collection protocol. The study has been done through a period of time starting April, ending December in 2010. This is a biconical trap which has inside a black color and outside a white color. Inside black color and outside blue color. And this is the attractant bottle which is full of attractant. There is a small plastic bag full of urine, cattle urine, pinned inside the trap. What we have seen? We have seen the 3 different biting flies. Tabanus, Pangonia, and Hematopota. Tabanus proved to become the most abundant biting fly, followed by Pangonia and followed by Hematopota. Not only that, but Tabanus showed to be more resistant because it is present both in rainy seasons and in dry seasons, while Pangonia disappears. It is only present only in the heavy dry seasons, especially April to June, and disappeared afterwards. And Hematopota, into certain extent, also is a bit resistant more than Pangonia because Hematopota can be seen both in rainy seasons and in dry seasons, but in small numbers. There is another biting fly, call it Hematopia, which is a Mushidae. This biting fly has not been ever observed in the traps, but it has been observed on animals, live animals. This chart tells us that Tabanus, represented by the blue line, is present the whole during the research period, going very down around September, which is the most drastic period because it is very hot and very windy. Pangonia, which is represented by the red line, is present heavily on the heavy rainy season, which is from April to June, but disappears the rest of the period. And the Hematopota, represented by the green line, is somehow present all over the steady period. Therefore, we conclude that the infection is maintained by the presence of infected animals, the presence of the vector, and the presence of susceptible animals. When these meet together, the disease is maintained in the area. And in Somali ecosystem, animal movement is so frequent because animals are in continuous search for grazing area and water points. Therefore, this animal movement and the presence of these biting flies maintain the disease. However, the disease, we have seen that this coincides with the acute phase of the disease in the rainy seasons and the chronic or mild seasons in the dry seasons. Therefore, we recommend that further studies to identify species, to determine the macro and micro climate of each species, and to find out more Travis methodology with high capacity of attracting in order to decrease the amount of the biting flies in order to give relief to the animals for grazing and produce more milk for the livestock pastoralists in order to nourish their children decently. And we recommend governments or authorities to support livestock herders to tackle this problem, introducing other drugs which really can complement these methods of trapping. And we also recommend international drug companies or pharmaceuticals to look for alternatives of the current drugs that Pastoralists is used to treat their animals, because certain publications report that drug resistance is now increasing towards against the current drugs available in the market. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.